Ladies and gentlemen, an important announcement. This just in. Winter has in fact been canceled. Now, this may come to as a shock to many of you, certainly was to myself, or at least over the past few weeks. I've kind of seen this coming, and now that yesterday's Bank of Canada announcement has cut the rates half a point, winter has in fact been canceled. So I know you're thinking, Andrew, how could you let this happen? Listen, before you get too angry with me, keep in mind, I know you probably bought your kids snowsuits and stuff. Listen, I know, it can be very frustrating. However, I am not talking about the weather. And if you're interested in that, well, good. Stay with me here. So, beautiful people, Andrew the Realtor here with December 2024 housing market update. What the heck am I talking about in terms of canceling the winter? Well, this is it. As many of you know and have seen on the news, and if this is a surprise, hey, that was yesterday. December the 11th, the Bank of Canada cut rates half a point, which is a wave of cuts this year. Interestingly, like a wave of increases a certain previous year. And that is definitely going to change the housing market. Now, what I meant by no winter, and I'm being sarcastic, trying to be funny, but the reality is for realtors for the past week or so, even before the Bank of Canada announcement, a lot of business coaches and people who keep their eye on the market and busy realtors in general, we've been pretty much told to, and I certainly am, staying in fall market mode. So in essence, we may not have much of a winter market in terms of real estate in the GTA specifically. In terms of winter, I have no idea. Almanac says it might be a rough one. Others say it might not. I have no idea. But certainly be prepared. Maybe keep the snowsuits for the kids. However, in terms of real estate, stay tuned. So buyers, this is very interesting, very something I've been harping on this, I know, but please take note. Your time is short. The time really is short. Yes, certain segments of the market are still kind of lagging behind, but listen, I've seen offer dates on new listings for condos. Never mind freehold townhomes, never mind detached homes. No, actual condos, the slowest market of them all, have seen some listings come on the market with offer dates. So what does that mean? There is interest. Yes, certain things are lagging behind. However, that opportunity for buyers is definitely dwindling down. Sellers, take note. Very, very important. But okay, moving along. Let me get you to the numbers because I'm going to give you context before I give you some insight from myself. So as always, guys, I try to provide this absolutely for free. You'll notice I don't have a lot of subscribers. I get a few thousand views each time. I know this is a value to some people because they tell me, some of my clients see this. The information is very, very good. Just a few minutes before I even looked at wanted to record this, I was looking at some other market updates. There aren't many, by the way. And some of them are very sarcastic, very exaggerated. This market's dropping down 40, 50%. Listen. Look at the numbers. I'll give you the numbers so you don't have to listen to my opinion. You can even avoid my opinion altogether. Just look at the numbers yourselves. But then hear me out onto what I have to say in terms of what that means and what it's going to mean for the market moving into 2025. As always, please hit like and subscribe. If you're watching this on TV like many of my clients do, hit the QR code up there. That's my little real estate experience website / app. And you get into that, you get some information there. And I'm always able to reach Andrew the Realtor. My information is always at the bottom. So guys, right off the bat, I got this from Yahoo Finance. There's lots of them, obviously. December 11th, Bank of Canada delivered a half a point, 50 basis points, 0.5% cut, which is significant. We weren't sure if it was going to be a quarter or 50, but considering the recent unemployment numbers and the recent, talk of tariffs from our neighbors down south, well, then they want to get right into it. So 50 basis points, big drop. I heard from a mortgage broker just, I think a day or two ago, all their clients, well, not all, 70% of their clients are going for variable rates now because of what's going to happen with the rates in the coming few months, in the coming year. I'm going to give you a graph about that in a second. So oversized cut is the 5th consecutive rate cut since June. Again, they seem to be doing this really quickly. I wish they'd take their time or at least, get it started a little bit earlier. Whatever, it's happened. Moving along. This is important. So this is the history of the actual rate. You'll notice that plus back in 23, those are towards the latter end of lots of increases. We get up to 5%. 5% was the overnight rate. And then look at that. 5, 4.7, 5, 4.5, 4.25, significant drop. Now we're at 3.25. That's a huge difference. And I know a lot of you obviously have mortgages, and those of you for first-time home buyers getting mortgages, this is good news for you. But hear me out here. This is what's going to happen, and all the more interesting for sellers, especially because this is what's going to happen. This graph is probably a couple of months old. I couldn't find a newer one that includes all the major banks, but at least the big five. Notice Scotia's already behind, by the way. They thought it was going to be 3.5 in the fourth quarter, including this cut in December. We're at 3.25 officially as of yesterday. So RBC certainly had it more correct. But nonetheless, listen, this is what all the banks are saying. So even if you stay with the most conservative, who's already been wrong, which is Scotia here. They're saying it's going to be at 3% till the end of 2025. Even that is a huge drop from 5%. And all the others, BMO, and this might change as the year goes on, 2025 goes on. But obviously, this is a pretty big. I mean, everyone's going in the same direction. Down and out. So the lowest RBC at 2%, they're thinking. TD CIBC at 2.25. So I think it's logical to think that at the end of 2025, next year, this time next year, the Bank of Canada rate will probably be between, 2 and 2.5? Probably pretty safe to say that. Certainly we're already on target in terms of inflation, something we're going to find out later this month. So this is where it's going, and let's look at what the market's doing. So, by the way, forgot to add this. This is also happening in just a couple of days, December 15th. So we just had a huge rate cut, which is probably going to increase things because the weather's not too bad right now. It's not like huge snowstorms and nobody's going to want to look at homes or condos. So you've got December 15th, you got that price cap increase for CMHC in terms of insured mortgages. I mentioned this in the past couple of months, and I mentioned again just as a pattern, building a pattern, a theme here. So going from 1 million or under 1 million for insured mortgages under 20% down. Now it's going to 1.5. And if you want to, you can look at the little example down below. Pause the video, look at the example down below, and have a look at the difference. Buying a $1.35 million home, well, look at the savings of the old down payment plan, the current down payment plan, and what's going to be new as of December 15th. Huge difference in terms of down payment. And personal experience, over a decade in the business, I know that the biggest hurdle for a lot of first-time homebuyers and a lot of people is the down payment. They've been responsible. They have a good income. Their income is increasing over time because they work hard and they're developing in their whatever industry they're in. And of course, their credit is good because they've been responsible. But it's hard to build up $200,000 in terms of equity, or not equity because they don't own a home yet, in terms of just savings. That's a lot of money. So anything that helps the down payment is good for buyers. Now, I know what's going to happen. It's going to increase the prices. That's inevitable. You make something easier to get, people are going to buy more of it. You see where that's going? Sellers, take note. Okay, so here this is the market. Move myself in the middle here. I'm always concerned. I see this in so many market update videos, other ones, and there's not many, by the way. Again, like I mentioned, there's too many things. Just bear with me. Green on the left side of the screen there. 40% increase in sales November last month versus November of 2023. Admittedly, this is where the honesty comes out. November of 2023 wasn't a very busy month. December it started to get busy. That second half of 23 was not great, but still a significant increase. So the point being, we had a huge inventory. If you look at the first red circle on the left, it's active listings in November. We were around 22,000, 21,818 mentioned here. You know, it fluctuates as things sell and things hit the market. We've been as high as over 26,000 this year. That's a record. You may never see that again, ever. I mean, I'm 44. Maybe in your lifetime, you probably might be younger. In my lifetime, I might not see another 26,000 or over 26,000 listing inventory. But we're about 20,000 right now. And honestly, by the time this finishes up into January, we're probably going to be at 15, 16. Some will sell. Some will be taken off the market for maybe listing later or maybe not listing at all later. Who knows? The point is, we're going to go into a January still a pretty healthy inventory, considering the lowest we've ever been is 4,000. Probably never see that again. That was the January of 2021, the beginning of the madness that ended in first quarter of 22. So back to this. And I want to overwhelm you guys. Sales are way up. Inventory is still high. Days on market is still high, which is very, very interesting. So buyers, there is still opportunity out there, but it's shrinking. Hence the opportunity window that I keep talking about. Your time is short. Really, really take advantage. Month over month, if you look to the right, the yellow circle there, November versus October of this year, inventory, of course, active listings are going down. New listings are, of course, going down. So that pattern is actually still very much in line with every year this time, where, you know, less and less people hit the market and more sell. We sell more than we list. That's kind of normal for this. Now, that might change a little bit with the recent rate cut announcement, because more people might be thinking, hey, listen, more people are going to be buying. Might as well put my house on the market. So that inventory might maintain, which helps buyers at least a little bit temporarily before things get really, really busy in the spring of 2025. So the point is, inventory is still quite high. That's the important part, but things are selling, which is also encouraging to sellers. Get myself out of the way here. So, you know what? Let me minimize myself. I don't have you guys miss any of these words. I'm not that important. I just help with the transaction. So, buyers, thinking of buyers, pros and cons of the current market. And please listen to this. This is where experience counts. Okay, please, honestly, respectfully. Cons. Even some condos are hitting the market with offer dates. So the con right now is you got more buyer competition, and with the interest rate cut, more people that have been sitting on the sidelines are going to come into the market, maybe even now. However, what you do have on your side is the holidays, and many people don't think about real estate on the holidays. You got Christmas, Hanukkah coming up, all kinds of festivals, family getting together, the New Year. Not everyone's always thinking about real estate, so those who are might have a little bit less competition. Still, the market is picking up. That's the con. The con is it's going less and less and less in your favor, beloved buyers. Pros for buyers. Inventory is still very high. You saw that. November, we're over almost at 22,000. Right now, in December, we're at about 20,000. So take note, almost 2,000 have sold since that last graph. Okay? And more thousands are going to sell before the end of the year, especially with the weather the way it is and the recent rate cut. So, but still, quite high. 20,000 on an average normal year, 3, 4, 5 years ago, would have been around June or August at the height of the market in terms of inventory. Now it's December. December and June is quite significantly different. So take note of that. High inventory buyers, that's the pro. The other bonus pro I'll mention here is the winter is a good time to buy. And many people realize that. Because some sellers, this year especially, this is the case usually, but this year especially, you saw the days on the market, I think we're at 49 in the previous graph. So you have some people sitting on the market for so long that they want to sell their house. The idea of keeping their house over the holidays, maybe taking it off the market, and relisting again, restaging, blah, 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 in January or February, it comes up to the plans. Those are motivated sellers who would say, okay, normally I would take 99% of asking price. But you know what? Considering how things are, maybe I'll take 98, 97% of asking price. You're not gouging. You're not being a jerk. You're not being some sort of a shark out there. And there's plenty of those out there, by the way. Sellers take note. But you actually help a seller. They'll be motivated. They'll be more flexible in terms of closing because finally they have their house sold and they can move on to whatever the next thing in life is. So winter is always good for that, but especially good now. Sellers, some insight for you in this market. So the market has moved in your favor. That's the reality. With the exception of condos are still a little bit lagging behind. However, some things are selling. I've personally done some. However, it's still a little lagging. So if you're somebody looking to sell a condo, be realistic. You really got to know your numbers, which is something I always mention in these updates. So listen, first of all, it's moving in your favor. Take note of that. Be encouraged by that. The second thing is, I really mean this because, again, I'm out there with buyers now too. I have sellers and buyers that I work with on purpose because I keep my mind on both sides of the market so I know what's going on. So many listings I'm seeing in a market where really you need to be on top of your game. I don't care, respectfully guys, I don't care if your cousin, friend, neighbor, whoever has a real estate license. You have to hire an experienced professional. You need professional photos, professional video, if it calls for that. Sometimes people overdo it with doll houses and all these kinds of things. Listen, you want people to actually see the house, not see it online and say, I've already seen it. Think about that. You need an experienced professional to negotiate things, to be able to express and point out the very specific benefits of the property that you have and minimize the negatives. Not nobody. A lot of people don't seem to know. I know plenty of amazing realtors that I deal with on a regular basis. I respect them. They do a good job. They're professionals. They're not hired just because they happen to be the cousin of the seller. As an example, I'm not saying anything specific. I don't know any cousins. Guys, as always, that's the update. I wish you a fantastic rest of December. Hit like and subscribe if you watch this because it gives me an idea of what people like and don't like. I keep an eye out. Every month so far, the average view number in terms of like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, that's increasing every month. And I really appreciate it. I'm trying to give you as much good information as possible because buyers, you have a window of opportunity that's not going to last forever. You really need to take advantage. Plus, you'll be actually helping sellers and sellers on the other side, especially if you're selling freehold, detached, townhomes, semis. You're going to do well. Multiple offers are a thing. Bidding wars are a thing. Offer dates with listings are definitely a thing. With condos, not as much. So condo owners, you really got to watch. Is there a lot of competition? Can you wait until maybe the spring market? Do you need to sell now and maybe look forward to getting something at a good price? Got to think about these things. My information is always at the bottom. Guys, click on the link. 15 minutes of your time, 10 minutes. I don't care. Even if you're not going to do something immediately, I'm not here just for the business. I'm also here to help you and give you information about real estate specifically. And before I let you guys go, one more little ditty. Some of my core clients, hopefully Canada Post is back in business soon. You'll be seeing this little gentleman shortly. If not, listen, guys, I know a lot of you watch these things. I appreciate you. A lot of my clients watch these as well, which I really, really appreciate. I talk fast. I try to get through these. Sometimes they last a little bit longer. But listen, the information is dead on. Dead on. I've yet to be particularly wrong on anything. And, that's not just me. It's the information source that I get, the sources I get my information from, market updates and those kind of things. So, light note. Listen, it's December. I hope some of you guys, I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to need it because I've been working hard this quarter. Guys, take some time off. Relax. Like this guy. Pull up with a nice, fuzzy, big-eared friend, have a coffee, have a tea, relax, take some time off to do nothing. Read that book you haven't read in a while. Sit down, think about something. for the Christians, pray. Take time to relax, guys. Happy holidays, a slightly late happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends, and guys, a very Merry Christmas to you all, and I'll certainly see you in the new year. You need anything, my information is at the bottom. Click on the link, go and check out the website, askandrew.realtor, and any questions, whatever, put them in the comments. I never get any comments, I'm not very good at this, but I'm good at the market, and I'm good at real estate. So guys, have a fantastic rest of December. I'll see you in 2025. Sounds like a science fiction movie. Ay, ay.